Andersen.
What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to channel Andersen, and happy Friday to all of you. There's a lot in the mix as always, so let's just get going and see what we got going on. All right, well, if you caught the last few episodes, you know I'm in the middle of a garage cleaning. We are still in that process, but I have some good news in reference to our CLK taillight situation. The other night I was actually able to repair our wiring harness right there. So what I did is basically I needed to match the resistance of what was on there for a resistor, and if you guys can see on resistors, they have basically colored lines, and those lines determine what ohm they read out, or I should say what resistance they read out. So I needed 25 ohm. I couldn't find a 25 ohm 1 watt, so I put 2 in line, which A, you can match up to make the number you need, and B, it effectively reduces the kind of wattage load that is needed on each one of them, or not needed, but what gets used on each one of them. So I have 2 1 watt resistors in line. One of them is a 22 and one of them is a 3.3, so right around 25 where I needed. And again, it distributes a little less wattage to each one of them because they're in line. So with that, I actually got our LED tail lights to work again. So it wasn't the LED tail lights that failed or the resistor bricks that go with them. It was just actually our harness. And chances are, what I think is somebody originally put some different type of lights in this thing and tried to run them for a while and eventually smoked out that resistor, and it kind of just gave way when I let the car sit for a while. Probably got a shock of voltage putting the charger back on it, and it fried it for the last little bit that it had remaining. So we got rid of that. It's actually right here. It's all chewed up pretty much. The wiring was kind of gone through. It's still intact, but you can see the resistor. If I can open this up a little bit, the resistor on this side, it could still be working, but probably not. So as soon as I put that other one on there, plugged in our tail light and got it to work. So what we're gonna do now is take out our halogen lights. Even though we just kind of refreshed them, did everything for them, whatever, I'd rather just throw in the LED lights, and you know, they look good on the car, they work good, they're a little bit brighter, and it just makes no sense to throw them out because I already had them and they work. So we're gonna take those off. We'll probably keep the halogens as like a backup, or I can even sell them because I picked them up for so cheap, 100 bucks for the set. They go for that per tail light usually. So I'm gonna throw these in real quick, and then we'll see what else we got going on in this video. All right guys, another look for you comparing both sides. I mean, I kind of got used to seeing it like this for the last few days, but I still do think the LEDs look a little bit better, especially with the smoked middle section, but both look good. They don't look bad. It's a good looking car in general. So we just got these, and they're a more expensive option, and I don't feel like getting rid of them, so we're gonna keep them. Let's move on to the other side. All right, you guys, they are working. Running lights are on, and no errors on the cluster. Put my foot down in the brake. There you go. If you guys can see off the reflection of the CLK55, we got them. That's a relief. All right, one job down. All right guys, cleaned up trunk, just missing our driver's side carpet, which actually buddy Abdallah picked up for us. Asked him see if he could ship it up from the Bay Area, along with a few other little trim pieces that I have picked up. So this thing is good, and actually I have a tail light warning for the C43. I'm guessing one of the bulbs is out, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the bulbs that I bought new for those halogen assemblies and go through these rear tire lights and replace what I need to. All right, we're not driving this thing now, but I'll probably drive it to work tomorrow, so I wanted to fix the tail lights ASAP. And something we got to take care of. If you guys remember in the summer when I was doing the cowl and everything, we ended up cracking the windshield. I tried to like cut it off basically, or repair it so it wouldn't spread, but it has spread all the way across. So I'll definitely be hitting up my insurance company, see if we get a replacement shield out here before summertime. All right, well, we'll leave that thing be for now, and quickly wanted to give you guys an update on the rest of the cars. C36, basically I've been having the best tandem daily drivers ever. Literally I've been going back and forth, one day C36, one day C43, one day C36, one day C43, and it's incredible. 202s are such good cars, and to experience both of them like back to back like that, I don't know, it's pretty unreal. And they both just make for incredible daily drivers, really fun, really engaging, and at the same time just comfortable, really good cars. So that's been awesome. It's definitely been getting used, and we do have some maintenance items. I feel like I've been talking forever now about that, and manual stuff that we're kind of thinking about chewing on. So that is that. The C55 has kind of just been chilling. The front left tire, I need to get it remounted because this one keeps losing air. It might actually be holding now, to be honest. I'll have to check it, but it lost air a few times just because condensation or whatever. But I did take it out for a couple drives, so maybe it kind of broke loose what was on there and not letting it seal, because it does seem like it's holding air actually. Funny story, my neighbors came over the other day that I met, shout out to them. But they came over and we're checking out the cars, and we started this thing up, and I was letting it run, you know, it was great as usual. And then while they were taking a look at it, all of a sudden it died, and I was like, what the heck? What's going on? It started stumbling and died. And then I looked at the fuel gauge and it was out of gas. So I actually need to go pick up a gallon of gas and just throw in some gas in it so I can take it out and fill it up. But let me go grab the keys for this thing, and we'll get our taillights solved on this. The mission this week, guys, I am really hoping we got to get jamming on this thing like ASAP. This thing has got to get cleaned up and get put in the garage, because that is the only way it's going to really like be a focal point. I wanted to wait until I got the brakes on this car, because I did have obviously the calipers we picked up, and I have some rotors on the way that were supposed to already be here. I was going to do tonight, but they have not showed up, so I kind of was banking on that. But yeah, that's what happens. Parts don't always arrive when you're expecting. So I had the wheel stud kit, the brakes, and the stainless steel lines, and then replacing the center caps on the wheels. I was going to do that all at one time, just because I didn't really see the purpose of bringing it in the garage, getting it up on all fours, just doing the wheel studs, and then having to take it back in and do the brakes and all that stuff. I just want to do it all at once. So I'm going to be patient on that, try to get that done hopefully this weekend if the brake rotors arrive, and then that way by Sunday we can get that thing cleaned up and in the garage. This, we have to get a junk title for it and be able to get it out of here. As long as I get a junk title for it, I can have Patrick, who you guys know from picking up this thing, come pick it up, and our plan is basically get it onto his trailer, and that way after we get on the trailer I can take the wheels off and we don't have to worry about like trying to find a different set of wheels for it just to roll it around and this and that. So I'm gonna do that hopefully soon. Like, we need to move ASAP with all this stuff. I just found out the M155 is gonna need some tires. The front has some inner camber wear, which is kind of my fault. I didn't rotate the tires soon enough, and also after we did the inner and outer tie rods, I still haven't gotten alignment, which it needs. It drives pretty straight, but I'm sure that kind of affected that inner camber wear a little bit. So we didn't get too much life out of these Milestars, and unfortunately, you guys know, if you have an all-wheel drive car or four-wheel drive car, you got to do all four at once, even if just the fronts are worn, because otherwise you're risking doing damage to your drive line and differentials, etc. So I've been looking at, you guys let me know, I'll pop them up on screen. I was really thinking about throwing a set of all-terrains on it. Same size, 255/55, but there's some really cool, they're from a brand called Venom, and I've been seeing pretty good reviews on them. They're 150 bucks each, 140 something each, and they're just a cool design all-terrain tire. And I feel like on this thing, A, it would look cool, and B, all-terrain tires just last a good while, and they got so much chunk on them that, you know, you can drive over pretty much anything and they'll survive most of the time. So I feel like for what we use it for, just around town and the occasional highway trips, it wouldn't be a bother, and it might be worth looking into. So you guys let me know, all-terrain tires on that M155, or do we keep it with, you know, a sportier tire on it? The factory size is like a 285/50, but I just don't see the point of having that extra width over a 255. It's really not that much of a difference. The weight is more in the 285, and 255s are way cheaper. I can get a regular set of 255s like this for like 90 bucks, but the all-terrains I just felt like would be a cool little change. So that's it. Let me grab the bulbs for this thing and the keys for that, and let's take a look around.
I can't find some elevator buttons.
All right, guys. Well, it's actually like 3 or 4 days later. Time's flying by. We are busy, and cars have just kind of taken a back seat right now, to be honest. So let's get our taillight bulb situation figured out. And the next thing I want to do to kind of close out this video is get these things scrubbed down and prep for paint. And I'll let you guys help me pick on what color we are going with. These ones right now that are on there are red, but factory color would have been just like a basically zinc coated or raw type of look, but somebody definitely sprayed these at some point, so we could do that again. But I'm not a huge fan of red brakes, to be honest, especially on a black car. I don't know. The M155 does have factory red brakes, so I've left them that way. But with this, I think like this was a really clean color from the actually it was this one, gloss vintage gray. Really clean color for the intake manifold. I thought would be nice. This one I also thought would be kind of a nice little contrast with the silver of the monoblocks and the 040 black. But we do have, you know, we got blues, we got silvers, metallic silver. I feel like that might be a little too much, so I think it's going to be between one of these, or just black could work too. So between these three, what would you guys go with? And I'll take your guys' feedback, and we'll do that in the next video, because most likely we'll just do our Motorsport Hardware lug stud kit, our Garagistic stainless steel lines, and the new calipers and rotors all at once. I did get the new rotors. They're here. Unfortunately, they are just a regular drilled rotor. I ordered these. They're Ray Bestos. Here's the part numbers right there. But I ordered these specifically because they said they were solid. But Matt Quick of Quick Classics, you guys know, he had ordered them right ahead of me, and his ended up showing up drilled. And I was like, dang, man, maybe mine are going to do that too. So they did. They came drilled. So it's no big deal. In reality, I would have just ordered a cheaper set, which was like maybe $10–15 cheaper for each, for non or for drilled. But yeah, we tried. I wanted solid rotors. It would have been cool because they last a little longer. They don't suffer the same, like, you know, warpage type of stuff, but the drilled ones last for a good while too. So yeah, let me get some bulbs and get this thing situated. All right, and for those that might be unfamiliar with 202s, it's very simple. Just literally turn this to the left, and the whole assembly pops out here. If I can get to it, there we go. And we got a cable on the bottom of this one, so that's okay. We can just swap these out. And no smoking guns as far as this one. I don't know which one is out, guys, so I'm taking a look. That one looks a little burnt out, but let's check the other side and see if we see anything obvious. Alright, oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, well good, we got one of those in stock. So oh, I didn't even show you guys. Alright, smoking gun, there it is. This is the driver's side, so good thing we got one of these. It should just be a 7506, I believe. This thing is absolutely smoked. Wow, and cracked. Yeah, time to go. So see you later to this bulb. Let's go get a new one. Okay, new bulb is in. Let's give it a quick wipe, and we'll leave the rest of these alone. There's no real point to try to swap out everything right now. Sometimes I do that if one bulb goes out. Usually I end up replacing all these, but these look pretty fresh, to be honest, so I'm not gonna bother. Let's just pop this back in and see if our bulb warning goes away. All right, all buttoned up back here. We got our lug stud kit and our EGR delete over there whenever I do the intake manifold rebuild. But yeah, that should be solved now. Everything's working cool. All right, well, let's get started on this brake caliper cleanup. I think I'm gonna do it in the garage just because it's raining outside right now. I'm gonna grab my old trusty yellow and black tote, cleaning bucket and basically just get them in here and give them a good scrub, and then maybe we'll use the pressure washer outside to rinse them off afterwards. All right, you guys, this one is the worst of the bunch. Just got a little more corrosion on it, so we're gonna start with this one. Just undressed it, so I got our old Pagide pads. These are probably original OEMs. I'm actually gonna be throwing in the same ones. Got our little shields off for noise reduction, and our pins and little spring bracket. So those will be staying, reuse. I'll get them all cleaned up, but first let's try to tackle this thing, and obviously we'll be gentle around the pistons as to not interfere with the boots on here. So interior wise, I'll probably use plastic brush, but on the exterior we'll use a brass brush. So let's get to it. All right, you guys, we got this thing pretty scrubbed down. I'm gonna go ahead and give it its first blast with the pressure washer, and we'll see how much more we got to go. It's already looking way better than it was, though. It was nasty. So let's try to get this rest of the grime off. All right, guys, we got one done. It's not absolutely perfect, but that's okay. It looks like the inner portion is probably steel, because that's the only part that's like, you know, got that surface rust on it. The outer pieces are aluminum. I don't know if that's different on the actual AMG brakes, if they're all aluminum. I think so, because the 4 pistons from the C55 seem like they were a little bit lighter maybe. So maybe it is all aluminum on those. But yeah, these cleaned up okay. Still has a lot of this little like surface stuff, but honestly it's pretty smooth, so I'm not really gonna worry about it, and the paint is gonna stick to all this, so it's no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the other one, and then I will air dry both of them, acetone them, and then we'll hang them up to hit them with some paint. All right, guys, well, we got them all prepped. I'll show you the other one in a second, but this one's good to go. The other one, actually, it is powder coat is still, I'm pretty sure, like the factory powder coating. So it looks like the other one, just for whatever reason, suffered corrosion and flaked off. This one's definitely starting to, obviously, but it should be all right. There's a lot of silicone left from, you know, like brake pad squeak, whatever silicone, but those should be fine. I'm not touching any of that, but I tried to sand it down a little bit, just make it rough for the paint to adhere to. The Krylon paint I'm using is actually pretty good. It's 5-time stuff and usually has no problem sticking to stuff like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it on this one, and if you want to see the results, tune in for the next episode on the brake job for the C43. Should be the next episode, but regardless, just be on the lookout for episode doing the brakes on this thing. Again, like I said, stainless steel lines on the way, new rotors and new pads, and obviously our refreshed 4-pot calipers to get rid of the 2-piece. Just going with a single nice updated easy upgrade. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We have a lot going on, like I said and mentioned in the video, and big projects are kind of on hiatus, so I will keep getting videos out to you guys. But yeah, let me know if you guys got any questions. As always, see you on the next one. Peace.